EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. From the gun, it's Wentz. He'll drop this down to Taylor, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver? And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at about the 28. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now, 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Jackson to Andrews on that one. 1st down, Baltimore. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. All the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you wanted to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape for a 1st and goal.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Marquise Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. He's got Jack Doyle. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there's an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it.
And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Ravens lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Second down, another run with Taylor. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
That's the type of run that Jonathan Taylor gives you so often, and you just can't take it for granted. He finds a way to get those extra yards. The 3rd running back taken in the 2020 draft, but he had the best numbers by far of any of them. 1,169 yards, 3rd most in the NFL, and by the last quarter of the season, he ranked among the best runners in the league.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Taylor. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Again, it'll be Taylor. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Got a man, it's Pittman, and he holds it in for the Colts touchdown. Michael Pittman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts able to get this back with it, a touchdown. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Jackson now. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. He'll get that to the rookie from Minnesota, Rashad Bateman. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. A pitch comes to Dobbins. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens will extend their lead here just before halftime. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And it's now 21-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they'll take over with just 18 ticks remaining. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Wentz. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Wentz. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. A final shot before half for Wentz. He'll get that one to Taylor complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Ravens ready to receive it. And they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Second half starts with a run by Dobbins. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Football is such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1. You think, man, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Quiddy Pay in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. To try again after the sack, Jackson finding room inside the 40, and finally taken down at the 30-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Marquise Brown is definitely a guy who can take the top off of a defense and make the big catches downfield. Also known as Hollywood, now in his 3rd season from Oklahoma, wants to make more catches like the one we just saw there, the routine variety. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7.
They go back to the ground with Dobbins. Busts through the tackle. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point. And a lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. Past the 20. And all of a sudden they're knocking on the door inside Baltimore's 10.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run here with Taylor. A good display of power, but ultimately it gets him just inside the 5 to the 4 and no further. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Second and goal from inside the 5. Here's Taylor again. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. Taylor. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up fourth and goal. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on fourth?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
They stop him up short on fourth and goal from the 1. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. Inside handoff here to Ricard. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Now Wentz. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. That's another great play to come away with the football.
And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 81 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 20-yard line. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll try to run it in, going option right. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And the Ravens are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Now a good running play here to start the drive. That'll net them 14 yards as they pick up the first. Defensively, with this lead in the fourth quarter, I guess you can allow a run of that magnitude.
You're right about that, but really the focus has got to be, don't fall in love with the idea that you're getting big runs now. You're right. They're actually being allowed. They've got to think really hard about getting some chunk plays through the air, too.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Calling no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. Now Wentz, gotta have this one. Wentz is intercepted yet again. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach right on his play sheet.
Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
58, right over there. Yeah.
Here's Ricard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught, take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 3rd down, Jackson being chased out left. And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the fourth quarter.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor.
And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. And they go to the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Into the secondary, past the 40. And down right around the 37. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Baltimore, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And next week they get to stay home again as the Los Angeles Chargers come to town. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, things aren't looking good. It'll be an 0-5 start, and they'll be at home next.